Hi, Dee. Hi, everyone.
This usually means not right now.
There's your projector.
Like, don't come in here, we're hunting kind of thing. If people don't know, they'll cross.
There's a sheet. You can barely see that you're playing on it. There you are.
Okay, it says 0% with that.
This is your last live. I'm late, but I'm going in.
I gotta get another one out. Let me set you down.
I actually have this whole mess hooked onto my tripod this time. Kyle, come watching D. Don't mess with my head. I'm going to stay on the path, I promise. Well, unless you did something really spectacular. This is a week after the impromptu investigation video. Where I came out here and excuse me. I came out here and they made noises, and I started to go after the noise and went off the path. I didn't ring the bell on the way in, and the little suckers gave me like Alzheimer's or dementia or something, where I couldn't recognize my surroundings at all. And I ended up walking straight back here, and it was nowhere near where I thought I was. I kind of snapped out of it, freaked out, just about ran out of the woods. So. You're still over there in the background. I can't get too awfully far away from you because it's hooked to my Wi-Fi on my phone. I should be able to You can have that. That's for you. I brought them apples. It takes me a minute to set up the whole video and stuff and get it hooked to the Wi-Fi. It rained really, really hard for all day 2 days ago. Today was the first time the sun came out for a while. See if I can just out. This tripod is much heavier than the other tripod that I sent you, D. And it's not any more heavy duty. So this is the standard tripod that I went to W-Mart and got, and it's pretty heavy. So I will be setting it down a few times. I love how they mess with you. When they messed with me last week, they did it in a way where I didn't even know it was happening at all. I was still describing things, and I was describing tree structures that I had described before on videos. I'm very familiar with this whole area. And what they did was they made me walk down this Jeep path right here. You can see that it's a clear-cut path through the woods that in World War II they were going from the ammo bunkers to my land, which is was a staging area to put stuff onto a railroad track and send this stuff away. But they had me walk down this jeep trail, and the only thing that snapped me out of it was the brown birch trees, because like I said before, the brown birch are my anchors in the woods. There's not really a lot of them, and when I see them, I know exactly where I am, even if I get turned around. So those are ingrained in my head, and when I got down here to where I could see the brown birch, it snapped me out of their little fog that they had me in. And kind of like last week, I can hear crickets, tree frogs and stuff, but they're pretty far away from me. There's none in my swamp at all. I just heard a peeper. They don't usually come out till springtime, but every couple of breaths I can actually see my breath. So if you see a fog come out in front of the camera, that probably is my breath. One thing about this tripod is it's more comfortable to hold on the tripod than it is to hold on to the rig that I have set up my phone and my light to. It doesn't have any square corners, but something scared you again on your video. Hear the peeper? This is a Friday night. Tomorrow night they're going to do something in town. And town is 2 miles away from me, but when it's quiet like this and they have a concert, or they're having Locktoberfest in the lock that comes through, and they're going to have live bands and stuff, and tomorrow night it's going to be really loud out here at this time, so I'll be watching your live instead of out here playing your live. Watch your ears. Kyle! Are you watching D? I got D on bid for you. This is the one where they drain your lights a lot, D. I'm researching on the internet on how to make homemade Faraday cage. And my other video, on another thought, my other video where I went to the big brown birch, there's the big brown birch in these woods. There's 6 or 8 of them right in a row right here. There's a couple. There's a triple one down there. Those shiny trees are brown birch or paper birch, whichever you want to call it. I keep switching hands here. For some reason tonight, when I was first coming in the woods, I had like the chills, but on my face. Right on my face. Like my face was cold and a little bit numb. But it was actually the chills doing it. It was very weird. And now it's on my legs, and it's not cold out here. It's 60 degrees. And there's absolutely no wind. It's completely still. But the leaves are very wet from the downpour. I think we got 4 inches of rain the other day. Kyle! Come watch D. Whoop! Can you say whoop? I'm not exactly sure why I talk to them like they're going to understand English or any such thing. There you are playing over there now. Whoop! So on this experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set whoop! Kyle! I just flat out heard. There's no way you're not hearing that. Whoop, whoop! Whoop, whoop, whoop! That sounds a lot like a wolf. Now I can hear him in the distance. There's definitely some dogmen, I believe. That was really loud, and I now have my friends in my hand. Don't come over here! That was on the other side of the swamp from me, but it was very close. And I can definitely hear other ones in the distance, so you're hearing a car right now. So I'm going to see what these things do. This, in your video, this is where I think you run back to your car. Kyle! Now that did not at all sound like coyotes. They didn't yip or scream like coyotes. That sounded flat out wolfish. It did. That do not make me happy. Kyle! Go keep the wolves away! Tell them to go! Now they are over in the no-no woods. going off. So what's going to happen is, I guess I'm going to have to leave you sitting here because they are running across the street. Coming in this direction, so I'm going to leave you sitting here. Maybe you can see them. And I'm going to go walk back out into my lawn. Kyle! I would really and truly hate to be forced. I would really hate to be forced to have to sick my friends on those coyotes. I'm pretty sure they're coy dogs. They don't make the coyote high-pitched squealing noise. Closest things we have to wolves. A bunch of wild dogs mixed with coyotes. So I don't know if you saw anything or not, but I went out into my lawn for a little while.
Right here. I was right here and I didn't have the damn camera on.
Mostly for their safety, not mine.
I was worried about showing where I was at. So when I was
Kyle!
turn the camera off because I don't want
Did you tell them to go away? I have this light on medium. It's still showing 3 bars. You really can't tell a huge difference between the medium and the bright. That's the bright, low, medium, high, low, medium. So I generally keep it on medium. It's supposed to run something like 5 or 6 hours on medium. And if I click it on high, after about 10 or 15 minutes, it goes down to medium anyway. I don't know if it's to save the heat or save the battery or what it does, what the reasoning behind the manufacturing it that way is, but that's the way they do it. In an hour or so, those coyotes, coy dogs will make sound again. They were within 100 yards a minute ago when I set you down. My friends are laser guided just for nighttime. I know I've showed you all of these leaning sticks and how they just keep adding to stick structures like that. Stick here, a stick there, and this sticks got slowly bigger over the summertime. I'm not 100% sure. If not just bigger ones come in here, or if this is a nursery and this is where they bring their babies. And they let them play around in here and lean sticks against everything, but they were all small sticks in the beginning. I know it's not people doing it because that would be just weird. I could see doing a few sticks and then seeing if people are actually going to notice it and think that Bigfoot's doing it, but they would do bigger ones. I believe right in the middle of my screen right there, I just saw eye shine. It's pretty high up off the ground. Let's see if I can switch pockets now that I have put my friends away. It's very cloudy, so I'm pretty sure that was definitely not a star. I don't hear any planes, but you don't hear them until after they go by anyway. I just heard a weird bird noise. I just heard a wood knock. Kyle! I'm not coming off the path. Nope, nope. You messed with my head last time. I'm not doing it. I love it when you get mad when they drain your lights, D. I guess I would too, since I only have one. I have a one of the black icon lights that I sent you two of. And I set mine on medium, and I have run mine for an hour and a half before on my investigations. But they're not messing with my lights like they seem to do to you. Kyle! I'm not sure at all that I would hear shuffling in the woods right now unless they did it on purpose or stomped on a really big stick because everything's wet. Which is pretty much why when the coyotes made all their noise, I left you sitting there because I'm not going to hear them coming until they growl. I'm not exactly sure what causes me to come out here and look for Biggie feet. The tall man, Kyle as I call them. I'm waiting actually for them to actually yell out Kyle when I yell out Kyle. I could never prove to anybody else that it wasn't a person doing it. But if they're going to mimic anything that I do, besides maybe my whoops, that I do the same way all the time, it's going to be them yelling Kyle back to me. It's going to be fun. I know I'm kind of swinging you around a little bit, but coyotes aren't normally attracted to human voice, but when I made my long whoop, they howled back at me like a wolf. And they all did it from all around me, so. And they did not make the coyote sound that the coyotes usually do. It was all wolf sound. And we're not supposed to have wolves here in New York. But wolves are where they are, right? Kyle! If you could just step out where I could see you, I wouldn't have to come out here anymore. I know you don't know what I'm saying at all, but you can feel my attention and my intention. Woohoo! I don't want to see any dogmen. For a second, I might think that it's you, Kyle. But if I'm got too close, I'm not sure what I would do if I saw an actual monster. I'm prepared that you're gonna not look like what I picture in my head you're gonna look like, but I'm reasonably sure that your legs aren't bent backwards. And all of that happiness that I really don't want to see. So just don't come out if you're that. We don't need that at all. Anyway, in case you only watch pieces and parts of that, that is Dee from Dee's Dark Adventures playing on a sheet in the middle of the woods because Dee wanted to see what would happen if I played her on a projector in the middle of the woods. And believe it or not, it works pretty good. They do like her voice, and I'm not sure if there's infrasound cryptids talking to each other in her videos that these cryptids can hear. But I have got some pretty good hoops and hollers and cracks and wood knocks and stuff. Tonight was all about, so far, the somebody just gave her money. Kyle! Are you there, Kyle? I feel pretty much alone in here today. I don't feel. Of course, they could make me feel like that if they can make me walk around and not realize anything, not realize exactly where I am. Then they can certainly make me not realize when they're around. So I'm gonna set you down and point you out here where you can see a ways. If I can make this tripod open, there we go. I'm going to set you down right here. You'll be able to hear Dee.
You a death hornet? Oh my god, I'm a murder hornet! Oh, what the fuck are you? Sorry, guys. Shit. Why is there a murder hornet out right now? Did I step on a nest? I'm gonna die. Oh my god. That was a murder hornet. That was something. Are there even still murder hornets? Is that a real thing? My light's dying, guys. But anyway, I left one of these out and they picked it.
And I'm
I've got that on camera.
obviously still right here.
We're making it.
I just need to rest my arm for a minute.
I'm sorry about the lighting. They're draining this light too. This light's going, man.
Zoom this in a little bit so maybe you can see a little further.
I'm gonna shit myself because then that's the whole reason they're cutting me off. I don't know why my tripod's screwing up, but check this out.
Kyle!
There we go. Ha! I'm smart. See, I'm
Woo!
not as stupid as everybody thinks.
Woohoo!
We're gonna go by hand because only because I'm tired of this bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Here we go. I'll grab my tripod on the way back. Don't worry, buddy. Or Ralph, I won't let anything happen. Don't touch my tripod. That's for Ralph.
On that video, the first time she was talking about her tripod, she called me Roger. She got it right the second time when she put the tripod down, but it was funny. Kyle!
Look at that. So cool. They do this all through the woods constantly. Where they'll stick them in the cracks.
Yeah, Dee loves the
I just got.
Dee loves the sticks leaning against the trees, and the big wood structures the same as I do. They just fascinate me. And there's so many in this little piece of woods right here. Kyle!
My battery's dying. My battery's dying on my phone. No freaking way. This guy's my battery's dying on my phone. This is it. This is incredibly stupid. This is awesome, but I'm getting really ticked off at the moment.
Kyle!
My phone was fully charged. Everything was charged.
All right. Look that way for a while. How about you look out this way for a while?
And here we are. My phone might die. I will post. If it dies, I'll post.
Try to figure out how to use my tripod. That would be nice. There we go. There.
This is sick. Hi.
Kyle! Are you watching Dee?
It's Dee.
I made her big for you. And I brought you some apples.
I'm just nervous because this is the craziest shit. I'm excited. I'm not scared. You're scared for me. And it's overwhelming. I can't help it. And I've been laid as fuck. I'm done, man. Oh, man. Okay, so here's my tower. Everybody that lives in Ohio who's ever been here knows where I'm at. It's a secret spot. Please don't say where I'm at right now. You know, wait till I'm done. Ooh, spider. Hello, where are you guys? I'm done.
Come on, Kyle. We're watching Dee. I think next time I'm going to run her video on the very end of my lawn, point you out into the woods, and then I'm going to go up and have a fire in my fireplace. And that way I won't have to be anywhere near it, kind of like when I just walked out into my lawn. I have to figure out if I can put the YouTube Premium on my projector instead of the basic YouTube, because it keeps playing these stupid ads.
They can calm animals. One of my researchers have a horse that she saved. She lives on like 200 acres or some crazy crap. She saves a lot of animals.
Normally I've have you guys picked up and
but it was wild. And
swinging you around everywhere.
behave well.
But I'm thinking that maybe when I have my back turned and I'm looking with my flashlight out into different places, that maybe the
And its hair was braided and
maybe the phone itself will be able to see them running between trees or something. I'm already sure that they can make it so that they can walk right up to me and not recognize them. They're standing right there, but I won't be able to recognize that they're there because they just, last Friday they made me have some kind of like dementia or Alzheimer's, and that lasted for a good 10 or 15 minutes until I got to where someplace in the woods right out here where the birch trees are. And I recognize that place because it's set in my brain as an anchor in the woods. And when I saw that, it snapped me out of whatever they were doing.
So she thinks that it's visiting me from her place.
Years and years ago, for a story that's like that, years and years ago, I was there's a place not too far from me called Whiskey Hollow. And it's a state park. And I went out in there during the daytime. And I was following a path. I walked out in there. Stayed right on what I thought was the path, and I turned around to come back out, and I got lost. The path led me in a completely different direction than I thought I was going. And I got completely lost in the woods for about 2 hours. And it's good size. It's like a mile wide and 3 miles long inside that woods, but it's surrounded by, it's absolutely surrounded by roads. So eventually when I was lost, I decided I was just going to point towards the sun and just blatantly walk through the trees off the path or wherever I had to walk in a straight line to just come out and hit a road, and I came out totally wrong place to where I thought I was going to come out. I came out on a totally different road, and I did that. That happened to me 3 times back in there. The first time it happened to me just by myself, and then I brought my older sister, who's also quite the woodsman. Woodswoman. She's passed now, but she was, and I brought her out there, and both of us had the same problem. We went out to the same place, we went out to down the same path, we turned around and started coming back the path on trying to come back out, and we got lost again, and we came out a completely different place than I came out the time before. And that was so intriguing because it never happens to us. We don't get lost in the woods. That I went and bought a Garmin GPS.
Did you guys just hear that? Please tell me you heard that. The whole ground, everything. Did you hear the noise?
I could only hear it on headphones, Dee. Anyway, I bought a Garmin GPS, and we walked down that. We started it, we walked down that path, and we got to the end of the path where it hits the swamp like we did before, turned around, tried to come back the path, and that GPS would not bring me to my truck. And no matter how we walked on that path, and this time we didn't decide to go straight, we walked on that path and kept going, and it took us out like down a mile down the road, on the same road that my truck was parked on. So 3 times it did it to us, and the 3rd time it did it to a GPS, it would not bring me back to my truck.
Audio is awful. I need a thumbs up. Is my audio really bad? Come on, Ed, thumbs up.
Nope, we can still hear you, Dee. I'm not hearing anything, but I'm feeling something.
It's fine, okay. The whole damn ground shook. I don't
You know
know
how
what
it,
it was.
like,
That was freaky.
it's not that it's too still, but now I don't feel like I'm alone like I did before.
That was metal. I'm out.
Oh, and I'm not.
No, that was metal. Dude, it just went through the woods. And then it's back.
Right there.
That was metal. Yep.
Right there sitting on the ground, it's either a possum. There's either a possum or
It was like you could hear the metal clanking.
a raccoon.
And then the sound went everywhere.
Right between those two trees right there. See his little eyes? I think it's a raccoon. Kyle!
Trick that I do.
That's funny that I could feel myself being watched and there's a raccoon. That's not what I was exactly expecting to see, but...
I'm leaving. I just want to go.
Kyle! You know, out through the woods, because a lot of people do hunt back here. And they keep putting those tacks in the trees.
I gotta get away from the metal. And it wasn't the tape metal that you guys know.
So sometimes you can... sometimes you get the bigger light out and shine it down through the trees and your heart stops for a second because you think you see.
That's what it smells like. Vapor rub. Not
Your
that
heart
kind.
stops for a second because you think you can see eye shine out through the trees, and
It's weird.
then as you stare out there you realize that the tack is actually right in the middle of a tree. It's not on the side of a tree or off to the side of a tree. So unless they can make themselves actually look like a tree, except for their eyes still shine. Now the reason I picked this place out here...
This is insane. Okay, first off, I have a horrible night. I'm late. My truck. Something didn't want me here tonight.
The reason I picked this spot
I'm wondering if
is because this is the first place I noticed anything last September, which is a year ago. And I say it in almost all my videos, especially if I'm out here, I show it. That's the bent pine tree that I keep talking about. That was the very first thing. That was the very first thing that I saw out here. And right here on the ground, I saw what could have been a tall man footprint. And I was just looking for this apple. And that apple's laying on the ground from where I had it before. Underneath that little thing, I had that apple sitting there when I set you guys down and walked back to my lawn. And now it's laying on the ground, so I'm not sure what happened right there. I'll have to re-watch the video.
for everybody that's stuck with me, I swear, you guys are the best people on the planet. I am so horrible at camera work. I want a camera guy.
Yeah, you want a camera guy, D, but you don't want anybody with you. Because
I want a camera person, but then I'm afraid they're not going to catch the stuff I catch, or that they're not going to react because I might bring people with me.
you know they know they can scare a one female in the woods in the dark because they keep scaring you, and they test that theory all the time. But you get someone like me that when they make a noise, instead of being scared and walking away and making noise and reacting to it like that, if you take 2 or 3 steps towards it trying to figure out what it was, Not necessarily being aggressive, but being more curious than scared. That definitely would put them a little bit more on edge. Like I've said before, I'm on Wi-Fi. My phone is hooked to that projector playing YouTube. Maybe someday over the rainbow, way up high, or maybe not, I can get a second phone. I think D has 2 phones. If I got a second phone with I can make a hotspot and walk away from the projector as far away as I want and just have 2 phones recording videos. Kyle! I have not heard the coyotes make any noise. Usually about once an hour they let each other know where they are. I don't think they like the fact that I'm in the woods. They can hear D talking and they can hear me talking. I don't think they like that idea. The other day they were across the street from my house, not very far out into that woods, and they yelled out the front door and told them to shut up, and they did. It was pretty funny. Shut up, you idiots. And they stopped, and then they started back up, and I said, I told you to shut up. They decided to go somewhere else. Maybe they recognized my voice, me yelling for Kyle. Kyle! I still have 3 lights on this light, and it's been running on medium. I wish it had a high, an extra high, and an ultra high. I'd rather see like daytime, but that's just not the way it is. In fact, it looks like it's not really on at all, and if you get far enough away from the trees, where like this tree right here, you can see that the light's pretty bright. But it goes 500 lumens, 1,000 lumens, and then 2,100 lumens. Am I seeing? Not sure what's happening over here. End of the video, I guess. All right, D. So this was the weekend. Yep, there's the end of the video. So this is the weekend after the impromptu video, and I just played your video, and I got what kind of like what I normally get. Nothing. I got some howling from coy dogs and coyotes, and that was about it. I didn't see anything besides open up, you stupid thing. I didn't see anything besides a raccoon, and I really didn't feel anything out here tonight. So there we go. I'm going to break this down. You have a wonderful night, and hopefully you'll find something in the video when I had walked away, or find something in the video that I did not see. So have a good night, D. Have a good night, everyone. Be happy, world. Bye.